Okay, well, I'm really excited to introduce you all to this wonderful human that I've watched online for a while now, and I have a lot of respect for, especially the messaging that you have talking around taking that active approach to creating the outcomes you desire through the work on ourselves. So welcome, Rich Lopp. And as you describe yourself, you're a dude who helps people think about things differently. And so I would really love if you would introduce yourself, maybe give us a rundown on what was life like before what you do now, and what is life like now, and was there like a turning point along the way?
Yeah, actually, it was not an easy transition because, I mean, to summarize it and put it in a nutshell, life before what I do now was um, I had become accustomed to just being that guy that nobody has any respect for. I was bullied my entire childhood. I was that one kid in school that everybody crowded around and pushed and picked on and ha ha ha. And if you got caught being my friend, you were ostracized as well, you know? So, and that screwed me up in the head. So I went crazy as a teenager and started rebelling, and I was a really bad kid. And then, pretty much up till my 20s, I was just used to nobody takes anything that I say seriously. Nobody wants to hear anything that I have to say. My voice means nothing. My opinion means nothing. And I was just used to that. I'd never, I don't guess I ever really thought about it because I didn't really have anything to compare it to, you know? And, but I mean, a fire burned inside of me since I was a little kid. Now, I didn't really know how to put words to it, but it was something, if I was to put English words to it, it was something to the effect of, I have something to say that people need to hear, but I didn't know. So I had a bit of an anger, an angry fire that burned in me.
Mhm.
And, I mean, it was not uncommon at all for me to put videos on Facebook and on YouTube and stuff like that. And I was usually the type of person that very loudly screamed out very unpopular opinions out of anger. Nobody listened to me. Everybody made fun of me and yelled at me and all that. And then, again, just to kind of summarize it and put it all in a nutshell, I woke up one morning and now all of a sudden everybody wants to hear what I have to say.
Mm.
Once I decided to put a couple of tarot card reading videos on my YouTube channel, everything literally turned around overnight. And
Mm.
I didn't really adjust to it very easily at first, because right around this time, I was actually seriously starting to let go of and give up on trying to help people understand a different perspective on things, because throughout this point in time, I had been researching and attending courses and classes and stuff like that to learn the behavior of energy, how to go about changing your life. Nobody wanted to hear about it. So I had just recently, within a period of about 6 months or so, decided, you know what, I'm done trying to share this with people. And then all of a sudden I wake up one day and everybody wants to hear what I have to say. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't an easy transition. It
Mm.
was kind of annoying at first. And I don't know if you used to watch much of my content from way back in the beginning, but I went through a period there where I was angry and irritated and frustrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having to hone that in and develop the art of speaking the truth with as much kindness and compassion as possible,
Mm.
still knowing that when you're a truth speaker, it's going to hurt people's feelings, but like the art of speaking the truth with kindness and compassion. And even if it does hurt your feelings, I hope it doesn't, but I'm not going to let that water it down. I'm still going to tell you what needs to be said. You know what I mean? And it's
Absolutely.
yeah, for the past 3 years or so, I've been honing in, working on the art of doing that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I went through a very similar transition too. And I had the angry phase and I had the why doesn't everyone get it phase. And then it was like, wait, yeah, how can I present this in a different way? And
Yeah.
I heard you do a video recently, and in the past, I went through a phase of being addicted to readings and eventually realized that I actually needed to do the work and embody the things that I wanted to call into my life. And now I love tuning in. For me, it's just a curiosity thing. And yeah, I saw the video that you did where you had a similar story, and I'd love to hear you talk into that a little bit, like talking into that story and then the decision that you made and what led from that.
You mean which one was it?
It was about like being like super into getting readings, but then there was no like advice involved and that type of thing.
Why I stopped watching tarot videos?
Yeah,
That
that
one?
was the title.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, like the whole tarot thing, that was something like if you knew me before, that was so out of the realm of anything that I would ever even pay any attention to, you know?
Mm,
And like I said, the traditional popular, well, modern view of like tarot card readings and whatnot, and the connotations attached to it kind of goes against my worldview anyway, because like I said, I'm about creating my reality.
mm,
But what happened, again, I'm trying to summarize it the best I can, was that obviously what led me to the tarot was so interesting and synchronistic how it all played out, because I obviously had experienced a connection with a person that was at the time the most incredibly intense connection I had ever felt. Freaked me out. And right around this exact same time that I was living with this person and was connecting with them,
mm,
another random person showed up in the picture and said, "I'm supposed to read for you." And I had no idea what that meant.
mm,
And she said, "I don't know why. Spirit's telling me I'm supposed to read for you for some reason." Okay. All right. She said, "Can I get your phone number and we can arrange a time to meet up in the next few days?" I said, "Sure, I guess, you know." And a few days later, she called me up, took me to her house, started flipping these funny looking cards. I had no idea what it was. And this lady was telling me stuff about my childhood, you know, and she was obviously a psychic medium,
mm.
and freaked me out,
Yeah.
you know. So I was like, wow, that was bizarre. I guess that whole tarot thing is legit. Okay,
Mm,
well, I stuffed it away and kind of tucked it away. And then fast forward about a year and a half, I'm sitting, I'm scrolling through YouTube, and I keep seeing these tarot card reading videos pop up. And my first thought is, that is the stupidest thing I have ever seen.
yeah.
Who would watch that? And then I'm noticing, wow, a lot of people are watching this.
Mm,
20,000, 30,000, 50,000 people are watching these videos.
mm,
Ah, they're idiots, you know, and I would dismiss it. But then I would remember that reading that I got from that lady. Well, yeah, but I got a reading one time and it was legit. But
mm,
this lady was sitting right in front of me, you know? So, but there is no way in the world that some random stranger in some remote location can tell me anything about me just flipping cards for the sign of Aquarius. That's stupid.
yeah.
And it just kept, every time one would get recommended to me, I would remember that. And finally one day, after a couple of months of this, I was like, well, let me just click on it. And I clicked on one, and it told the story of that connection that I experienced with that person. And
Mm,
obviously I became addicted to him like a drug, you know, binge watching. And like I worked at this car wash, and during the summertime, not many people came and got their car washed. And
mm,
I would be sitting in this little building all by myself for 11 hours a day with nothing to do, watching tarot card videos all day long, you know. And I started noticing I'm just spinning in circles. I'm not
mm,
getting anywhere with this. And I
mm,
said, well, I'm broke. I can't afford a personal reading, but I can afford to go up the street to the spiritual store and buy me a deck of those cards and learn myself. That's
mm,
how I'll get the clarity that I'm looking for. So that's what I did. And I dedicated the next 2, 3, 4 months or whatever to learning how to read them, learning how to shuffle. And then I didn't get the clarity I wanted. I was getting the same thing the YouTube readers were getting, you know? And so I kind of just put it to rest and tucked it aside.
mm,
And then obviously I got bored one day and decided to put a couple of the videos on my channel, and it blew up like overnight.
mm,
And I, again, like I've said before, I wasn't wanting that.
mm,
I was just looking for something to do to keep myself busy and occupied on my days off. And
mm.
it blew up. Now I've got, and like, to let you know how much of an accident it was, I didn't even change the name of my channel. That's
Yeah.
why it's just my first and last name. It's not like I sat down and said, all right, I'm going to make this tarot channel. I'm going to call
Brand.
it King of Swords Tarot or something like that. It didn't even have tarot in the name.
Mm,
So it blows up. Now everybody knows my name. So I'm getting bombarded.
mm,
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people are flooding my inbox on every social media platform. And I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Why is everybody bombarding me? And then like everything started happening in my life and lining up perfectly to where I was backed into a corner, and that was my only source of income. I was
mm,
like, well, I got to keep this going, but I don't want to do this. I don't fit into this. This
mm,
this goes against my worldview, because these people are coming to me wanting to know what future is going to happen to them. And it's like, I don't even look at it that way. I don't I don't I couldn't sleep at night if I just sat and told you what random future was going to happen to you. Because to me, that would be a lot like if I took my car to a mechanic and he plugged it up to the diagnostic machine and said, oh, well, your cylinder 4 is misfiring. Your map sensor's going out. So yeah, looks like in about 3,000 miles, your car's probably going to break now. All right. Have a nice day. It's
yeah.
like, I can't do that. And then,
Yeah.
but I started thinking, well, what if I could tell these people how the situation was manifested? And not only could I tell them exactly how this situation was manifested, but I could give them some tips and advice on how to either fix the situation or energetically untie from it and move on from it. One of the two. Maybe I could start planting little seeds in the minds of these people and give them their power back, because these are some of the most broken people on the planet, you know, completely broken. They feel completely helpless, hopeless, and powerless. And this is their last ditch effort to try to get some kind of clarity.
Mm,
Maybe, maybe I can use this opportunity to like help these people understand that you're not powerless.
mm,
You actually have a lot more power than you know, because this is all I dedicated my life to learning. So then it started making more sense. This is why the universe put me in this position. I still didn't really want it at the time, but I could just tell. I kept getting the calling. I kept feeling the calling. I need you here. I need you here. I was like, okay. So I kept it running, and that's my path for the past 4 years now has been doing anything and everything that I can to do just that, to have the people that come to tarot card readers not knowing that they're handing that reader all of their power. And I take their power, I like to polish it up and send it right back to them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. And I really appreciate that. And the advice piece was, I think, the reason why you're one of the only ones that I continued watching even after I kind of let it all go, because I just
Yeah.
really appreciated that. Like, here's something you can actually do, because that piece is missing in so many industries or self-help arenas. And so I love to know, what is the best advice you could give those who are currently feeling stuck or stagnant in the present or
Well,
attached to the past?
it really, I mean, obviously it would kind of depend on what their situation is, but most people, if I could give it a one size fits all and a blanket that I could lay over it,
Or
I think,
generalization.
yeah, I think when most people who are in that position to where they're wanting to come to somebody else to tap into the other side, or to give them some answers that they don't know, usually what they're doing is they are stuck in a program that has more than likely been the program they've been on since childhood. And just like anything else, the best thing that you can do is ask yourself, what is my vibration? What is my frequency? What frequency am I vibrating at? That's the first thing that I think is most important for anybody to ask themselves. What frequency am I on? How is my frequency manifesting my life experience? And that's tough for a lot of people because nobody likes to hear that they created their own shitty situation, you know. I was delighted when I heard it. So, you know, it was the greatest news I'd ever heard in my life. But yeah, I was like, oh wow, you mean I created this and I have the power to uncreate it? Sweet. Let me know how, you know?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think that would be step one, is asking, okay, well, how did I manifest this? Because that's the first thing you have to know. Before you can figure out how to uncreate it and create something new, how did I create this? What is my problem? What is it that I really want? You know,
Mm,
because we all think we want something out here. It's not something out here that we want. We all want to fill the void. That's
mm,
what we want. We want the void filled. It's just depending on who you are and what type of situation you're in, we're looking for something out here to fill the void, whether it's money or a relationship or a big, beautiful house or a brand new car. We're looking out here for something to fill the void. So
mm.
that's what we really have to identify. We got to take a look at the void. What's going on in here? And what is it that I'm really looking for, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And I do that a lot with myself and also with people. And like you said, I was so excited to find out that I was the problem. And then there were so many layers of like, oh, wow, I'm a problem in this way and this way and this way. And it's the hard hitting stuff that I think, yeah, no one wants to do. And yet it's the key when you actually like, yes, lean into it, get uncomfortable. And then you open up these doorways and things start dropping into your reality. That's addictive. That's fun to play with.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, I support leaders in all areas, so in life and business. And so I really love to ask everyone the question, what does leadership mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Well,
Mm,
it's I've never been asked that question before. And I never really looked at myself as a leader, you know, because I've always been the type, because it kind of seems like you have leaders and followers, and then you have
mm,
people like me. And that's like,
yeah,
I'm going this way. You can come if you want, you
yeah.
know? Um, but to me, if I was to answer that question as directly as I could,
Mm,
to be a leader, I don't want to tell you what to do. I
mm,
want to shine a light on the path, you
mm,
know? And what I want to be able to do is say that one thing that makes something click, you
mm,
know, because that was the majority of my path. I would go listen to motivational speakers and success gurus and tarot card readers, and then it was that one person that said that one thing that made me buy into the process, you know. So what does it mean to me?
yeah. Mm.
I don't know if that was a sufficient enough answer, but you
No,
know, to
it's
shine a
great.
light on, to shine a light on all the paths, on every path that there is, and say,
Mm,
you know, I don't know what it is that you're looking for in life, but I would assume that you're looking for the best case scenario. Well, you've been taught that the best case scenario is down that path, and it's not. It's down this
mm.
path, you know, and just making people aware of that, and then, you know, hopefully planting the right seeds and giving them the tools that, you know, if they choose to apply it, you know, they can better their life. But again, it's up to the individual at that point, you know.
Absolutely. And it reminds me of a story a mentor once told me, especially in regards to coaching. What I do is you can't hold someone's hand and like coax them and pat them and drag them to their outcome. You can say the things, you can help them find the way to light their own path, and then you keep walking, and they can choose to sit and stay, or they can watch and go, maybe I'll keep walking.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, I think that's, for me, that's what leadership is to do your work, follow your path, and then share what comes up, so that whether it's online or whether it's in person, because yeah, like you said, it's just that one piece sometimes that can just change someone's whole trajectory. And I know I've had
Yeah.
many of those moments. So yeah,
Yeah.
this has been a beautiful conversation, and I thank you so much for your time. And you can find Rich all over the internet. And I will, yeah, continue to watch your journey, and I appreciate everything you do. So
Oh, you froze
you
up on me there.
all on the next episode.